So South of Midnight, the latest Sweet Baby Inc. production, right now is not doing so good. Its release day, and while yes, it's only Tuesday, Monster Hunter Wilds, a game something like that, within a few hours, even though it was launched during the week, on Steam it had over 2 million players. You want to know how many players this has right now? I'm sure you'll be just completely shocked. 1,086. Oh, big peepee numbers coming through. Make way for Game of the Year. But Sweet Baby Inc. And keep in mind, it's still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But again, that's really not even an excuse anymore. People will stay home to play video games. People will get home and whatever. Again, the Monster Hunter Wilds, 2 million players just on Steam within a couple of hours. About the same amount of time as it is now. So there's really no excuse. No real excuse at all at this point. But Sweet Baby Inc., what do you expect? We has also, where is she? Right here. This is the same person who was just like, oh my god, Dragon Age the Failguard top surgery scars. So I came in with, you morons need to get that representation doesn't automatically equal a good game. You lot fucking cream your panties due to some freaking diversity. Then the game ends up sucking. Then you make a video saying, duh, I don't think they actually care about us. Which she did. She was like, oh, I don't think they actually care about the diversity or don't care about us. And here she is again, creaming her panties over some freaking representation in a game. And the game's going to suck. And the only people who are going to like it are the people who are going to force themselves to like it because, oh my god, diversity! Like, if you're going to have a black character, great. But don't rely on Sweet Baby Inc. to make them for you because they can't make good characters. They can't. It's impossible for them. And another brutal blow for Sweet Baby Inc. and its embattled CEO, Kim Blair. The company's latest narrative endeavor, South of Midnight, has officially launched, and the results are nothing short of disastrous. What was meant to be a first-party Xbox Game Pass showcase has turned into yet another cautionary tale of what happens when identity politics take precedent over actual gameplay. While some defenders try to soften expectations by pointing to Game Pass availability, the raw, I like it raw. Raw data tells the real story. On Steam, still one of the most reliable. Yeah, that's what I always say. Like I said, Monster Hunter Wilds, 2 million players within a couple of hours. Pretty much when that game came out, by the time I got home from work, it was just, people were writing 2 million players. So, the public interest, South of Midnight has barely cracked 1,000 concurrent players on launch day. Smash JT, one of the most vocal independent gaming critics, noted that even a paltry 2,500 players would have been embarrassing. The game didn't even come close. Now again, we're not stupid. We know it's only Tuesday. There's still Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not going to get much higher. I said the same thing about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I was right. I said it's going to barely get 60,000 players, and guess what? I was right. So this game is not going to get many more players than it might get up to, I don't know, maybe 5,000. Maybe if they're lucky, it might hit 10K, but it's not going to be much. And of course, they're going to see that 10K and be like, oh my god, this game's a success, like they always do. Let that sink in. A Microsoft-owned studio released a new title, promoted a major showcase, and it barely attracted a 4-digit player count on the biggest PC gaming platform in the world. Narrative over gameplay, the Sweet Baby Inc. formula. The answer may lie in the fingerprints Sweet Baby Inc. left all over the project. I've told you, Sweet Baby Inc. can't help but get their grubby little fucking fingers over everything. And then once they sink, I mean, it's at the point, it's like, don't make me tap the sign. Because I pretty much got a don't tap the sign moment here. Gotta find it first. I think it's at the bottom. Yeah. This is what happens when you let Sweet Baby Inc. get their grubby little fucking fingers into everything. My germs! I mean, this is a don't make me tap the sign. Sweet Baby Inc. has put out... Sweet Baby... They have ended up ending the careers of so many people. They have caused studios to shut down. And these fucking morons in these companies continue to want to work with them. This chick doesn't care about telling a good story. They don't care about good, diverse characters who are well written. They just want diversity. They just want as many diverse characters as possible with as little white people as possible. And then when it comes to the character of those characters, like, what do they stand for? What are their likes? What do you mean they're black? It's like, oh, okay, if we're going to be following this character for like 30 plus hours, shouldn't I give... Well, are you saying you don't care about them because they're black? No, I'm saying I can't care about someone just because they're black. You know, normal people, personality, it's... Give us a reason to care about them. Oh, so you're saying you hate black people? You're just a bunch of phobes, this and isms. Long known for their identity-driven narrative, consulting, Sweet Baby Inc. It's cold out right now, but I'm standing in front of a 530-degree oven all day. Sweet Baby Inc. has increasingly become the face of forced ideological storytelling in games. From character archetypes to dialogue tone, gamers have spotted a clear pattern. A gameplay takes a backseat to social agendas, and South of Midnight fits that pattern perfectly.
Saying I would definitely like to see more queer characters of color, not just just a white queer character. I would like to see more people that look like me. I think audiences have a very vocal minority of people who are very much against inclusion of anything that's not, as we said, like a cis straight white man.
You see, here's the problem. I've said numerous times, me personally, I can't speak for everyone else. I don't care if they're fucking black or queer or trans or whatever. Just make it a good, well-written character. It is not that fucking goddamn hard. Okay? It's not. Every one of you could probably do this 1,000 times better than these overly paid the overly paid writing staffs at these companies. And if you're black, if you're queer, if you're you can easily draw from your own experience. These people just like, oh, the character is going to be black. Okay, what's their personality? What do you mean, what's their personality? They're black. What personality do you think they need? We have the representation we want. And that's the problem. That is what at least I am calling out. The fact that these diverse characters have no personality. A freaking cardboard cutout would have more personality. So diversity means shit if you can't relate to the character. If you're making black characters, but then there's nothing to relate to, black people can't relate to them. If you're making queer characters, guess what? If they're just stereotypical, then guess what? People who are queer are not going to be able to relate to them. But this is something, instead, we get called phobes and isms because these people are stupid. And because everyone else, the people who come here and leave stupid comments, you're constantly just, leave big company alone. Leave big company alone, you phobism. South of Midnight's writer. No wonder the characters and story are trash. The video in question features a long speech about the importance of inclusion and representation in gaming. The creative team public affiliations have only poured fuel on the fire. The studio's community manager, also known as Pikachu Lita, has a history of divisive rhetoric that's been well documented by independent critics like Smash JT. Her front-facing role in the game's promotion only reinforces the idea that this project was built for clout, not for players. 7.5 hours of boredom? Critics slam the content. As if the player count weren't bad enough, the content of the game itself is being widely mocked. Full playthroughs of 7 hours? That's like freaking... I mean, I just did a playthrough of Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, and that's an N64 game, and that maybe clocks in at around 4 or 5 hours at most. I mean, each episode I did was between 30 minutes to almost an hour. It's not a long game, and that's Nintendo 64. So the fact that we have a modern game clocking in at 7.5 hours and they want you to pay what, $40-50 for this? What? Which would be short even for a budget indie game, let alone a supposed AA showcase from a first-party studio. Steam user review echo the disillusionment. One user, Zanny, wrote, looks kind of cool. No DEI rot in the game so far. The main problem is the gameplay is so boring. After an hour, 1.5 hours, and I asked myself, do I want to continue? And the answer is no. That's not just a bad review, it's a death sentence. When players are bailing before they even reach the halfway point, you failed at the most fundamental level of game design. But at least there's representation, right? Compulsion games, blocking critics, of course, because these people are fucking pussies. Every single company does this because they don't want to actually hear what people have to say. They want their little echo chamber of people like, oh god, the game is so good, don't mind the haters, they're just phobes and isms. Oh yeah, all over my face, Daddy Corporation. So they block anyone. They'll have hidden replies, they'll block people because these game companies who should be taking everything and incorporating that, all the criticism, instead just want an echo chamber of people jerking them off. According to Smash JT, not only did the studio decline review code, but they also untagged themselves from his coverage on Twitter and eventually blocked him altogether. That's not just unprofessional, it reeks of insecurity. That's their natural scent. If you're so proud of your work, you welcome feedback. But if you know you've built a lemon, you hide from it. And right now, Compulsion Games is in full retreat. May have already... Yeah, we talked about this, how they might have just dropped Sweet Baby Inc. The collapse of South of Midnight couldn't come at a worse time for Sweet Baby Inc., especially with new rumors swirling that Sony has begun severing ties with a controversial consulting firm. As previously reported, Gothic Therapy revealed that a verified insider claimed PlayStation has started canceling projects attached with Sweet Baby Inc. attached. Potentially massive shift from one of the industry's biggest players. Good. Like everything Sweet Baby Inc. touches turns to shit. According to the leak, they weren't isolated. These weren't isolated decisions either. They were described as targeted, deliberate, or deliberate cancellation. Sign that Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement was seen as a liability, not an asset. Now, if only every company could do this. But look at how many people had to lose their jobs just last year, 2024. How many people had to lose their jobs? How many studios went out of business because Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't know what the hell they're doing? They care more about just having black or just representation than they care about having a good story with naturally diverse characters who people can relate to. I've said, if you want to create diverse characters, you're going to be in a game studio, go around. If you want black characters, go around, ask the black employees, ask about their stories, their personalities, and incorporate bits of them into these characters. That's all you have to do. It's not that freaking hard. It's really not. I assure you, it's not hard. It is not that hard. And then that character will be a million times more relatable to the audience than the crap that Sweet Baby Inc. puts out. It's not that hard. If you want a queer character, it's a video game company. I guarantee you there's plenty of queer people there. Ask them their stories, when they decided to come out, what it was like for them, and incorporate that into the character. Not that hard. We have nothing against diversity. Just stop making it so terribly written, because no one can relate to these characters if there's nothing relatable about them apart from, oh, the skin color, they look like me. Now the South of Midnight is officially flopping. Decision may look more justified than ever. Another loss for Kim Blair's Empire. While the gaming press won't say it out loud, players already have. Sweet Baby Inc. is becoming a liability. The pattern is too obvious to ignore. Every game they touch turns to an underperforming, over-politicized mess. If South of Midnight was meant to be the turning point, it backfires spectacularly. As the industry quietly begins to question the role of narrative consultants, one thing is clear: Sweet Baby Inc. isn't just losing influence, they're losing the audience. Again, there's nothing wrong with representation or diversity. The easiest thing to do is any character that you have or want to make, I guarantee you have those kinds of people working for you already. Ask them their stories. If they are black, ask them their story, where they grew up. If they're queer, again, gay, bi, whatever, ask them when they decided to come out. Ask them, things like, how they dealt with it and what it was like for them when they were growing up. And you take what they tell you and you incorporate that into the character. So that way, when you play the character, they're more relatable, because I guarantee you people have had that same experience, that the person who you're drawing inspiration from, you're having the same exact experience as them. I know, but I'm the fucking phobus and ism, right? Freaking pricks. But I'm not surprised that no one wants to play this freaking crap. People are tired of this kind of this thing. Diverse characters for the sake of diversity without making them well written. People are tired of that. People are tired of Sweet Baby Inc. The fact that the game is only like 7 hours long. So we'll give it till the end of the week, still say Sunday. It's at 1,000 right now. I'll say maybe 10,000 being generous. 10,000 players. But that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.